All right, so first, the Democrats sought to blame the GOP for the fierce opposition to their health care bill. Now they're ratcheting up the rhetoric once again, this time trying to score political points off the anniversary of the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing. And former President Bill Clinton has been doing some deep thinking on the subject. Let's take a look.
When I went back and started preparing for the 15th anniversary of Oklahoma City, I realized that there were a lot of parallels between the early 90s and now. The rise of kind of identity politics, the rise of the militia movements and the right-wing talk radio, with a lot of what's going on in the blogosphere now.
All right, so you can trace the evil right back to right-wing blogs and talk radio, but Clinton didn't stop there. He went on to attack GOP politicians and to draw a direct link between them and the Oklahoma City bomber himself.
A lot of the things that have been said, they create a climate in
speculation that, and he himself had said that it was the reaction to the Waco takeover, and Bill Clinton orchestrated that takeover, and in fact was so ashamed about what he did in Waco that he was not going to appoint Janet Reno to a second four-year term. And she told him in a meeting right before the inauguration day for his new term that if you don't appoint me, I'm going to tell the truth about Waco. And that forced Clinton's hand in reappointing her. So I think
I don't remember you telling this story before.
No, it's never been said before.
Wow.
I think that President Clinton might want to examine his own connection with the Oklahoma City bombing in terms of Waco before he starts accusing people in walkers and wheelchairs who are trying to keep their Medicare of being provocateurs.
So what was the truth about Waco that Reno threatened to use against him?
I have no idea, but I know that he told me, Clinton told me, that I couldn't not appoint Reno because she would have turned on me over Waco. That's the phrase he used.
What do you make of, because obviously this has become the new talking point of the Democrats. They are trying to marginalize every single conservative, effective conservative voice. I have my own theory. I think it's because a lot of people have come to the conclusion that conservatives like Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, people like yourself were right about Barack Obama being radical. Right. And that narrative is stuck, and now they need to fight back.
It's that we're winning. It's that if the election were held today, we'd take the House and the Senate. It's that they see their numbers crashing, and their only hope is to try to identify these people in wheelchairs and walkers who are protesting their Medicare being cut with Timothy McVeigh and saying that they're fanning an atmosphere of violence.
Do you think this tactic, obviously a strategy,
well,
do you think it works?
No, but of course it's deliberate. When the former president says it and when a Democratic congressman says it on Capitol Hill on the same day, obviously those are talking points.
Okay, and they've been spread around. All right, so Ray, what would you suggest then to the people that are under attack? Because it's really the American people, look, I don't think it's any more complicated than this. People are afraid of what has happened in the economy. Sure. They're afraid of record debt.
Well, but they're also scared, and this is the point we make in our book, 2010. They are afraid of government completely taking over the economy. Just look at it. They're trying to take over health care. That's 16%. They're taking over the banks with this financial regulation bill that says they can seize anything anytime they want for any reason. And then they want to take over the manufacturing sector and the utility sector with cap and tax. Put that together and you are talking about the totality of the American economy.
It is interesting. You watch, for example, this whole mortgage, the whole banking issue that is now being debated, and of course Chris Dodd, which is he's up to his eyeballs in corruption, friends of Angelo, et cetera. But the Obama administration in particular, if you look at the actual numbers, and I got them here in front of me, is Obama going to return the tainted Goldman Sachs donations?
Sure. Well, Goldman Sachs was his largest donor other than the professors at the University of California. But let me say this about the financial crisis. In 2010, we reveal that there will be a new housing crisis caused by subprime loans being made by Obama's FHA. In fact, the FHA has dispatched SWAT teams, they call them, to banks to try to expedite subprime mortgage lending to low-income people. Precisely the same thing that caused this crisis. And if you want to read about the new subprime crisis, just look up under FHA in our book.
All right, let me